Hello and welcome to another episode of the XrmToolCast. At this point in time, normally I introduce Jonas and give him a funny name, but unfortunately, I have some news to share that as of February the 17th, Jonas suffered a stroke. He's in the hospital, has been recovering. Still waiting on the details of how much of recovery he can and will make. So we're all kind of waiting and seeing, but for now, I've asked three of his fellow co-workers and MVPs to come on and talk through kind of where we're at, how he's doing, and kind of an ask that we have just as a community to show our support for Jonas. So want to go around and kind of introduce ourselves, and then we can dive into details of what happened. So Gustav, you want to go first?
Yeah, my name is Gustav Westerlund. I'm a 9-time MVP, and I've been working with Dynamics for a long time, and I'm also the founder of the company we work at. So.
Yes, my name is Karina Claesson, and I also work with Gustav and Jonas at CRMK. I've also been working with Dynamics for a long time, and I'm a Business Applications MVP. Yes, Benedict.
Yeah, then it's Benedict Bergman. I'm also working in the same company, Business Applications MVP since 1st of January this year.
1st of January, so brand newbie.
Yes.
Yeah, same here, almost, from June. June last year.
All right. Well, awesome. So who had the best idea, of the best knowledge of what happened and where Jonas is at currently?
So I think that what happened was that on the night between Monday and Tuesday, Jonas he thought he had a stroke, so he went into the hospital, and it turned out that it was just some kind of some of the arteries in his neck that had sort of gone very tight, so they gave him some medicines, and they kept him under surveillance. And then during the Tuesday, we have a Teams meeting at 3:00 where we have like a friendly chat, and he joined us during that meeting, and we had from the bed at the hospital, and so we all thought that he was going to be fine. And then later that evening, he suffered a full stroke, and he went into surgery later that evening.
And so he was already at the hospital at the time.
Yeah. So he was at the hospital when this happened, and of course we were all very shocked when this happened. So we're a very tight group, small company.
Awesome.
So it's very. But I think Karina, you had a video call with him today. Did you?
I actually had a video call with him, and he actually was a little disappointed he couldn't join us today. He wanted to say just like hi, but he is a fighter. He has made some progress since last week. He has trouble finding the right words, but he understands what you say and everything, and he can say a few words, and then something else comes out, and he's doing progress, and he's fighting a lot with it, and he's training. So it was lovely to see him at the video call, and we can it will need time. It will take time to recover, but we are here for him during this time, and of course when he's ready to get support from us when he gets back.
Okay, so let me back up just a little bit there. When it first happened, he couldn't speak at all, correct? He couldn't stand anything. Like he was basically immobile, and he couldn't speak. Right?
I mean, he came out of surgery from I don't know exactly what kind of surgery, but I would guess it was brain surgery. So I don't think you can do that much after that. But it's
okay.
So yeah.
As I understood it, he couldn't speak at first, but then he could make like some sounds, and then progress every day from that. And okay. Today he said a few words, and so a few words came out, and then actually he talked a lot, but not the correct words. So
okay.
He has trouble finding finding the words, but totally clear in his head and understood what I said. And also I know he's been practicing writing, etc., like writing his name and writing a few words. So
yeah. And we've been seeing he's been showing up on our Teams channels in our company with smileys and emojis and stuff like that. So we've been seeing him now. So it's we love that. It's great.
So he may be the new emoji king and queen here for the short period of time here. As he relearns how to do that. But it is encouraging, at least, that we have seen some progress in the last week.
Yeah, and I think it's huge progress, and we're really happy to see that. So
And I also got some emojis from him, and then I also got a few words in text, which was a bit hard to understand, but emojis, that's good.
That's good. It also doesn't matter what language it is in either, so you can understand that one too. So I don't know. Obviously, if he's not doing well in his native tongue, I'm imagining his non-native tongue of English would be even way worse. So
actually, our colleague Sarah Lagerqvist also have had some video calls with him, and when I talked to her, actually she said that it was a little bit easier with English for him.
Oh, really?
For some reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, but he has made progress, but it will take time, probably.
So we've heard what happened. We've heard where he's at, and obviously every single day I'm guessing there will be some news for the foreseeable future. And then so we were thinking of having an ask. Jonas, as we know, we talked about in the show, he's I think I've called him the humble Swede more than once, but he's not really going to draw a whole lot of attention to himself. And so this is an opportunity for us to lift him up, because he's not really going to do that. So what's the ask? What can we do as a community of people that either know him as a friend or just know him through the tools that we've used and the hours that it saved us?
Yes, what can we do? When something like this happens to your colleague, your friend, you feel like you really want to do something. And at first we had a thought about starting a fundraising in his name, because we know Jonas really likes charity and has made a lot of donations before to different charities. We thought about the Swedish Brain Foundation. At the same time, we wanted to make it easy to receive donations from outside of Sweden, because Jonas has a lot of friends outside of Sweden and a lot of tool fans. So then we thought that the most easiest way is to just use his XrmToolCast Builder PayPal account. And I actually started yesterday. So if you want to support Jonas in this situation, we would like you to make a donation to his XrmToolCast Builder PayPal account.
Yes. And if you don't know it,
there are obviously going to be some medical costs. There's going to be loss of work costs, I'm guessing, as well, associated with all that. So all that can help him in that sense. But I think if you know Jonas well, you know that he does have a heart for charities as well. Gustav, I believe you gave some money to everybody for a holiday party, and he convinced everyone to go and take the money they've been given and to donate it. So without saying what he's going to do, I would assume, knowing him as well as we do, that he will take at least a portion of that and be donating that as well. So you can think of that as a donation to him or as a donation to potentially another charity as well in his honor, right?
Yeah, and I think in generally in Sweden, the medical costs and stuff, and also costs from loss of work. I mean, that's not a fact that you have to think about when you work in Sweden, because that's either covered by the state or by your employer. So that's good news. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. But in this case, I think if Jonas has helped you by building a XrmToolCast Builder, and he's helped you out a lot when you've been sitting there doing your job, maybe you can help him out now.
Yeah, I can even think of developers, if you see any tasks that are open on any of his open source projects, and you say, hey, I don't have the amount of money I want to give to it, but I would like to go through and help him that way. I mean, that would be a big deal as well. I know it's always a big deal when someone supports you in that manner.
Yeah, exactly. So we talked about that as well, that we obviously want to have his tools alive. Those are his babies, and he don't have the capacity to invest time in them in the near future. So that would be, I think, really appreciated as well, to keep them alive, fix issues, and so on. Yeah.
So if you want to donate, you can go into the fetchxmlbuilder.com/donate, and that will take you directly to that PayPal account or PayPal page where you can donate directly to him. So fetchxmlbuilder.com/donate. So you can go there.
Awesome.
And you can just pause right now, and you can go there, and we'll just wait for you 5 seconds.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's actually the Fetch XML Builder fan club. That's what you get to be a part
It
of.
is, right,
So.
yes. You don't,
I am
And-
now a part of it.
yes.
I believe it was it last week or the week before he posted that he had over 1 million executions of the Fetch XML Builder. Is it a year? Was it? I'm not sure what the time span was.
Yeah, it was,
Yes, it was
annually.
a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
4,000 each day.
Each day. All right. So if you took an estimate how many times you run the builder and you add a penny to that, and everybody did that used it, we'd have I don't know what the conversion rate is for dollars or anything else, but you'd have a fairly good sum of money as a thank you. So you can even think of doing it that way if you can't come up with a number. But, hey, the next 3 years, how much am I gonna use it and think of that too? So.
Yeah, and I think another related thing that struck me when we discussed when this happened, and I think this is something that I think many both consultancies or software integrators and also customer companies need to think about is, I mean, what happens when you're relying on a product just like Fetch XML Builder or other free tools or libraries that a single developer is building or maintaining, and then this is quite this becomes shockingly obvious what happens what can happen in this case, and I think that the problem becomes when you just use these tools and don't give anything back by donating, then there's no way for somebody like Jonas, for instance, to build his team, to build a team around this tool, so that he can remove the dependency on himself, right? So that, I mean, this was one of the reasons why I actually grew the company which I'm in, because from the start we were just 2 people, and my colleague became ill, and he was away for several weeks, and I thought, okay, I can't have it this way. This is not very. This is very risky. I have to rethink this. And I mean, that's just my business and just one guy. And there's so many people, 1 million people, 1 million usages of Fetch XML Builder all around. What happens if they can't use this? And I mean, if everybody just donated a bit, and then maybe Jonas could have had a team that maintained this. I mean, I would lose a great employee. That's a bit sad, of course. But he could have made a team that could have maintained this product, and then of course that risk for all these people that have all these customers and all the consultancies that are doing these projects would have been a lot less. And I mean, this is just an example of what can happen. Of course, there's so many other things, and we have a pandemic going on right now. So I think that this is a very evident risk that so many people, so many companies really need to think about. How are they handling the free tools that we have that they're using? And I think that what they really should be doing is that they should have a tool fee that all consultancies always include in all projects, which is a standard fee that they just charge the customer for, and part of that always goes into the donations of the tools that they're really using.
Yeah, in addition to this argument, I also think that if we save a lot of time with those tools, we as consultants, not only with Fetch XML, which is from Jonas, but also all the other tools we have, like Level Up and so on, which basically the companies earn money on, because we don't invest as much time to build our stuff. So I think it's just fair to donate then, and don't let the person itself, so every developer or every customizer donate. So I donated myself to some of those tools, but I think it's a different thing when companies start to donate.
Yeah, and I think that, and I agree, but I think that what we need to do is we need to sort of try to enact a change in how when we whenever all these companies, like our own company, when we go out to the customers and say that now we're doing a new project, we also have this cost. This is another part of doing the implementation. It's a tool cost. This is part of the cost that we're having. We have to make sure that these tools that we are using all are being, that we pitch into those tools, because otherwise we can't make sure that they are maintained. That's part of our open source policy. Otherwise we can't. That's how we maintain that. I think that's one way of, we have to make sure that everybody else does this as well, because I mean we're just one company, and I think all the other companies in this community have to do this as well, and we have to start a discussion around this. I think that's very important to start doing this, because it's not. I don't think it's fair that consultants themselves start pitching in and paying $1 or $10 or $100 to, because I mean that's out of their pockets. That's not where the money should come from.
Yeah, the ability to have a long-term effect by changing the culture of a company or the policies of a company are going to be much more far-reaching, I would think, than an individual going out and doing something by themselves. And so I think, Gustav, you're really hitting a good point there. If we, as an industry, said, hey, these are the tools that we need, that we want to support, that we want to see grow at an even faster rate than they are now, and then being able to actually put your money where your mouth is and be able to do that and help support that, it is great. And it would be helpful for everybody.
And I think the problem is that currently we don't think about it. The tools are just, you start the project, you have a problem, you find the tool, it fixes your problem. Well, you don't think about that anymore. So
we're so used to it, we take it for granted.
Yeah. So I think that's the problem, right? The way you have to sort of start looking back, take one step back, look at the big picture, and see, okay, so how do we make sure that this actually works in a longer perspective, and then also how do we make sure that the tools that are being developed in a better fashion and become more and better than they are, and also that we lose dependencies on these individual developers that are great people, but maybe there's a problem of having those very strong dependencies as well, of course, as we so can see right now, right? There can be a problem with this, but I really hope that we can see Jonas start doing the next version of Fetch Accessibility really soon, and I do hope we will do that.
He's got his brain has a few semicolons missing right now, but once he puts those in there, hopefully we'll see. See him back at it. He will if he can. We all know that. So we've talked about what's going on, where he's at, the call to action here. Anything else that we want to share? I guess if you follow him on Twitter and LinkedIn, you can feel free to give him tons of emojis. I'm sure kind of filling here his inbox with all that kind of encouragement would be couldn't do anything but help at this point in time. But
yes.
anything else we need to cover? Mm-hmm. Yep. I did hear that he still has his humor, correct? He's still joking, even though he's not able to completely get all the words out. You still hear his humor in there.
Yeah.
I heard he had a story where he was talking to someone that was dealing with some sort of chemotherapy treatment and made a joke about how his issue didn't cause him to lose all of his hair, but that really didn't help all that much. So yeah, that's good to see. Good to see that too. So
I think that sending him messages and just like trying to push him on, and that, I think that helps. There's lots of people that are relying on him and his tools. So just show your support for him. I think if you can give him money, if you can support him by donating $1 or $2, just show your support by sending him a message of saying thank you, I really love your tool, and get well.
Yep, and you can even make it even more personal by adding some story of something that maybe it allowed you to do something you did, or something if you know him personally of, hey, met you here and this was great for whatever reason. That's always encouraging too, even more so than just a thumbs up or heart emoji or whatever you're going to throw out there. But yeah,
that's a great idea.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on. We don't need to go any more in it. We look forward to hopefully continued good news on the Jonas health front, and we're excited to see what we can do as a community to come around and support him from around the world, literally. So thank you for joining us. And the email or the address again for those that are wanting to donate was fetchxmlbuilder.com/donate. I believe I have that right. And yep. So please feel free to reach out and do that. And as Gustav said, have a meeting with a manager if you're on the bottom of the food chain. Say, hey, I'd like to see what we can do to support these types of tools, because it starts with that. And it can grow from there very easily. It's just a few questions, a few proddings, and a few people stepping up for that. So thanks for listening, and thank you to all my guests for joining me today. And hopefully we can have Jonas on here in the near future. So
yes.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.